Hi, this is A Minute of Overpass. My name is Eric and I make apps. Now this week I want to talk about how sometimes your app is just going to get copied. Okay, so last week, if you follow the channel, you'll see that I posted a video about a guy who had taken my most popular app and pretty much just copied it. He used the same screenshots, the same description, the same name, and just released it. And I released, so I put out a video, kind of just showing it and showing how blatant it was. And I wanted to follow up on this week because there's been quite a few comments about it, and I want to kind of clarify what bothered me about it and what didn't bother me about it. So first of all, let me tell you how it was resolved. I started off, usually what I'll do is I'll contact the developer directly and say, hey, this is my image, this is my icon, because people have used my icons before, and I'll say, I'm going to report you to Google if you don't remove it, and then they do, and they apologize usually. A lot of times they may not even realize they were doing anything wrong, right? But this time what I did is I went to Google first. So I went to them saying, hey, look, this guy has taken 2 of my apps. His only 2 apps are direct copies of 2 of my apps, and it's not right. So they came back and actually said that they're not going to do anything about it this time. So I was kind of like, you never know with Google. Sometimes they'll be on your side, sometimes they won't. So at that point, then I contacted the developer, and he apologized, and he removed the descriptions, and he moved the image. So my problem with that situation was not that he had an app that was similar to mine, because there's lots of apps that are similar to mine. And when I started it, the idea was pretty unique, right? So I did a search. I couldn't find anything that was like EarSpy when I released it, and this was back in 2012. Right. So, but since then, there's been lots of competitors and lots of things. So if you do a search, luckily, EarSpy is still at the top, but it's not always going to be that way, most likely. So I always have to keep improving things and making sure things go, because that unique idea that you have is only good for a short amount of time. I mean, and you can do the whole. People were asking me if I was going to patent it or do anything legal, and I was like, well, no, I'm more, people will take their idea and wait for years and years and years for a patent process and never release it and actually be very hush hush about it, and then it gets taken by everybody else in the meantime. I'm a firm believer, as metaphysical as this might sound, that when you have an idea, other people are going to have that idea at the same time. You probably know this yourself. You have an idea for an app or a product or something like that, and then you check to see if it exists, and it does. You didn't copy that idea. That idea was, other people had a similar one. So, if those apps that are similar to mine, they may have been influenced by my app, or if I let my ego get in there, or they might just be the same thing. The guy had a same idea and all this kind of stuff, and produced it. So this is one of the reasons why I say, if you have an app idea, don't just sit on it. You have to start moving, because other people are going to have that idea too, and they're going to release it. And it's more of a case of not who has the best ideas, but who's the one who is actually going to do something with it. And having said that, I've already done videos on the value of an app idea, which I think are pretty much worthless unless you actually do them. But I've been in meetings with clients where they've actually had an app idea, like in a pub, right? And we were talking about it, and when people would walk by, the client would just hush up and just watch the person walk by, right? So because he thinks that random person might steal his big app idea, but. So anyway, I just wanted to clarify that. When you have an app, even if you release an app, and it's not 100% unique, then that's fine too. If you're improving on something that's already out there, right? In terms of EarSpy, people say it's the best one out there. It may not be the case. There may be some that are actually better, but the users don't know how to, or the owners of those apps don't know how to do keywords and all that kind of stuff. And thank goodness. But and at some point somebody's going to take me off the top spot with that one. But my problem with this guy was he was actually copying everything. A few years ago, I did my one reskin. I did one reskin, taking existing code. And you can see this like Chupa Mobile and all this stuff. You may have seen stuff like this, where you could purchase code templates and then reskin them and then release them. And we did one. It was just one. I had a designer at the time who I didn't really have much for him to do, so we thought we'd go this way. We took Swing Copter's like a skin, and we released it with a spy theme, trying to get into that ear spy market, and we called it a Spy Copter Infiltrator, right? So we released that to iTunes and Google Play, and Google actually rejected that. They said it was, despite the fact that we changed everything in it, nothing was the same except for the gameplay. They still said that we were trying to mimic another popular app. So that's one of my 3 banned apps. So basically, I never did a reskin after that, right? And I don't understand why that situation didn't apply to somebody else. This person was obviously trying to trick people into downloading their app instead of mine, and all that kind of stuff. So, which is basically the reason that I had. So that's it. That's it for this week. I just wanted to clarify that a little bit. Some people were saying, yeah, there's other people who have the same idea as mine, and some people have the same name as mine. And as far as I'm concerned, even if an app has the same name as mine, I don't mind, as long as it's not trying to be exactly the same as mine. Like if it uses my name, a name that I put out there, and it's a really good name, but there's something completely different, like maybe a game or something else, then that's cool. There's nobody's going to do a search and confuse mine, that one and that one. But if it's exactly the same and using the same kind of thing, like if you were going to start a coffee shop and you called it Amazon Coffee Shop, that would probably be fine. But if you're going to start a book website, then and you called it Amazon, then there'd be major issues with that. So that's it. I mean, people are going to copy when you put an app out there. So I accept that. And there's a lot of things out there that and I'm not so full of ego that when I see an app that's similar to mine, I think, oh, they must have copied me, because more often than not, that's not the case. So that's it. I just wanted to clarify it about this week. I hope you have a good week this week, and I'll talk to you next week.
Hey, I really hope you liked that video. Now, I do these once a week, so if you want to hear more, or you want to hear more about our experiences with the App Store, either Google Play or iTunes, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and please like this video and leave a comment. I love reading the comments. I love hearing what you have to say, even if it's just hello or whatever. And like I say before, if you're not sure what to say in a comment, like I never know what to say in a comment, I'll make it easier for you. Like if you liked it, just go ahead and say gnarly, which is an 80s term, or if you didn't like it, just say bogus, and if you didn't think any of it, just say right? So that would be a big help. And another thing you could do, which I'd really appreciate it, if you're on the App Store and you want to try one of our apps, look up some of the Overpass apps applications, either on iTunes or Google Play, and leave a review and let us know what you think about it, either good or bad. But it's we're all trying to build up in the market, so that would be a big help. So that's it. I'll talk to you next week.